Hello and welcome back to City Skylines episode number 5. In today's episode we will focus on the industrial area and developing the suburbs further. I am focusing on cargo in this episode with trains, as you can see, and also I'm trying to get turns for trains not that steep, because I have noticed that my train wagons sometimes they bend outside of the train track and that looks really shitty. So I'm trying to make it so it doesn't. I'm trying to make it that the train stays in the tracks. And also I have seen Yutos or Strictoster's tutorial on tunnels and cliffs, so I use that a lot because I think it looks better than just a hole in the ground, so that's why I use the cliff method. I might remove those docks later because I want to have some level of trailers on my road, and those docks they minimize the traffic of trailers a lot, and when I have cargo train stations as well, that might be a little too few trailers around, so I'm probably going to tweak that later. This warehouse, it looks absolutely stunning, and it's very awesome that I can build it wherever I want thanks to the Rico mod. That's awesome. Oh, this part. I think I used a good amount of time on getting this right, and then I just gave up and kind of made a tunnel in the other direction because it's on this hill and it just didn't look right, whatever I did. I do have the, not the road anarchy mod, but a sharp junction angles mod installed, but I couldn't figure out how to use it because it's kind of colliding with another mod, and if it's going to work you have to have some, there is only one setting you can have on the other mod if that mod is going to work as it should, so I haven't figured out how to use it yet. And also it's okay, the turns, I think it's a little too sharp turns, but it kind of works. But train wagons isn't looking, they are going out of the tracks, so I guess I will have to learn how to use that mod. And again, 22 by 22 pipeline settings, or poo pipes as Corrales call them, which I guess makes sense. I should actually have a lot more like those warehouses around, not all these small buildings, because I have seen some industrial areas on Google Maps, and mostly it's like those big empty flat lands with big warehouses around, so this is kind of... I should also tweak this later. I'm going to move that taxi place. It should be like in the commercial district outside the suburbs, not in the industrial district. This was hard. I remember it. I had to give it up and just use like this blah. It looks not decent. It doesn't follow the road. It looks ugly. But it's underground, so I guess it doesn't matter. I'm also going to tweak that bridge as well, because it's going right off the cargo station, so that will cause a massive traffic congestion. It will cause traffic problems. Also, there is too few workers now, despite being educated, so I have to build further on the suburb district. So that's what I'm going to do now. It will be more of the same, but with the like a park, a pretty big park, just a cosmetic, it's not in the park menu. I just like to break up spaces. Here I'm trying to use that no pillars mod, but it doesn't look good, so I just use the other end instead. Now I'm using a 6x6 grid, because if you have 8x8, it's those massive houses, and if you use 4x4, the roads are too domestic. It's like half roads and half houses. It doesn't look good. I mean, here it works because the houses are big and dense, but it wouldn't work in those areas. Yeah, and this is the start of the park. I will remove the power lines soon, and I removed the power lines. Now we are going to make some roads, pedestrian roads, pavements, and also parking lots, because it looks very good when you're mixing parking lots and parks. It adds another dimension to the game, and also when you add some props, it looks stunning in the end. But also I will have to tweak this park as well, because it's too few props to make it look good. I should have some more hedges in the park. I am zoning like this because if you zone like everything at once, the Sims will also die all at once, and that causes a massive death wave. So that's why I'm not zoning right after I have built the roads, because then you would see hearses all around town, and that's not good. I'm extending this bit of the Moto road to build a off-ramp to the neighborhood at the other side of the railway station. I think this road will be more used by the pedestrians from the east side of the park, because it's closer to the roundabout and it will be faster. Is this my Freudian slip? I think it is. Yeah, no, not really. I just have to tweak the road in the other direction. But per now, it's only a off-ramp, no on-ramp. So I have to do that later in another episode, I guess, or off-cam. I lost count of how many times I did this curve without getting it to a higher level upside. It took some time. This would have been a good situation to use the sharp junction angle mod, and that might possibly have looked like merging lanes. I want merging lanes in this game so badly. Yeah, this is the time lapse of taking the train. The episode is soon going to end. Yeah, in about 10 minutes. No, 2 minutes. Yeah, this is the other Rico buildings. It's commercial zones, like high buildings. And I try to use, now I try to build more realistic, like around the airports there is short buildings and very big buildings and many parking spaces, open airs. So that's a good scenario to build stuff on. Yeah, here you will see me trying the Rico mod. It's like massive skyscrapers, but it doesn't fit the theme, so I will delete them later. I just placed them there to look how it would look in the city. I might actually use it in another district, like in Longer Inn on the map, at the city center, wherever that might be. I added this mod, that vehicle selector, I think it's called, and then you can choose what vehicles a given building should spawn. And I have downloaded the Norwegian police car, and I have chosen to only spawn police cars on this map, Norwegian police cars, because this is a map that is called Oslo, and it's fun to play on because it has like a water stream that goes in different directions. No, it goes in one direction, but it's like different height, and I like that challenge. I like that water mechanics. Yeah, and enjoy the time lapse. Bye.